Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone, and today we ask about Arana. Arana is the new card coming to Marvel Snap. We've got to take a look at her, what deck she goes in, whether I think you should pick her up. But before we get to Arana, we've got to take a last look at Madam Web. This is our last chance review for Madam Web, a 2-1 Series 5 6,000 token card, ongoing. You can move one of your other cards away from you each turn, and since Friday, I have turned around on this card. The move decks that are running pure Madam Web lists are right now at around 60% win rate for me. They're about 60% win rate for Sizer. They're even better than that for Ava. The pure move really needs it Madam Web. It's totally legit. But also, I've got decks from the #1 player, Derek, decks from all these other top players that are showing Madam Web is actually worthwhile in all of these other shells. It took us a little while. I'm happy to report that Madam Web is a card that you should strongly consider buying. She's also a card, however, that becomes exponentially better, I think, if you can also get Arana this coming week. So if you had enough for both, I think that Madam Web is an easy grab. But if you want to play like mid-range stuff, and you're willing to do small move packages, or you want to play pure move, you need Madam Web in your collection. This is a look at a Madam Web deck, the kind of thing we're looking at here. This is the baseline list. This list will end up running Arana, the new card, once it comes out. I guarantee. Yeah, it's really strong here. Cosmo has found its way into fundamentally all of the Madam Web decks because Cosmo plus Madam Web is often a game-winning combination. Sorry about scratching my eyes. I've got a little cold. I'm fighting it off from my germs from being back with students. But this deck offers you a ton of flexibility and a ton of power. Move can get bigger than anything in one lane, and if you can win one lane, then a lot of what we're doing is we're saying, how do we get that other lane? How do we take that over? A lot of decks, the Sizer decks are running Goliath. Some decks are running Symbiote Spider-Man as a way to get like extra power and extra trigger on a move card. Thursday 4 has come up with the idea of running Cannonball, and I really love this idea. It can, like, even when that hurts you, it can end up pumping your Craven. There's lots of little synergies to this. Excuse me. There's lots of little synergies to this deck. It is quite good. All right, you can find Thursday at twitter.com/Thursday_4. You need Madam Web and Spider-Gwen for this list, but again, there is a apparently $20 bundle in the shop for the month that will give you access to Spider-Gwen. So if you're looking for Ghost Spider, you can just buy that. You'll have access to the card. You'll still have to open it eventually, but you can play it that way. Cannonball can be Goliath or Juggernaut for this list. Juggernaut is a little dangerous, like against zoo metas, but if you're not seeing a lot of zoo, then it should be totally fine, and Cannonball is just like a better option. And Goliath is good, but this deck doesn't always do the best job in the world of claiming priority, so Goliath could also sometimes be a dead card. Alright, so the stats on this are completely stupid. We see 31-9 at 77% and into the top 200 for Thursday with this. I mean, you can't ask for better numbers than that, right? So turn 1 is pass unless you have Torch, and then like you're gonna drop Madam Web on that Torch. Turn 2 is Madam Web over Craven. Turn 3 is you get your first move ready. Ideally, the first move is Vulture. That is the safest first move. Dagger, unless the opponent's already flooding, is a card you would generally rather play later. It gets more than big enough being played late. And Torch, obviously, is vulnerable to Killmonger. Alright, turn 4, you start moving and growing the cards. Turn 5, your ideal play is Cloak and Cosmo. You want to Cosmo a lane, preferably the Madam Web lane, but you want to Cosmo it to protect your stuff, and then like that'll protect that lane from Shadow King or Shang-Chi and lets you figure out what else you want to do. And then you want to cloak elsewhere so that you can start to get your final move set up. And then you just decide whether to Heimdall or Cannonball, and you win. That's it. That's the whole list. It's really, really simple for a move list, and it's extraordinarily powerful. One last look at this one, and then we're going to get to the new card. So, again, Cannonball is a really great idea. This one works super well. I've been playing more of the Sizer list that we featured last week. That one replaced Hercules with Cosmo. Cosmo is, again, in all of these lists. Cosmo Madam Web is a cube stealer. Remember, move happens before on reveals, whether you're first or second, right? So if you decide to move your Cosmo out of a Madam Web lane, you can, like, surprise block game-winning plays. It's super strong. I love this. Try this list. You will not be sad to give it some run. I'm also going to ask you to hit that sub button. We don't miss days here on the channel. It's been well over a year of videos every single day. We bring you at least 3 brand new decks every single day. And on Saturday, we have giant, awesome podcasts. We had the great Safety Blade on this week, along with the awesome devilish plays. Again, some of Marvel Snap's biggest and best names are on our podcast all the time, so if you're willing to check us out, hit that sub button. We're trying to hit 15,000 subs by the end of the year. We're inching up. We might be able to get there, but we need your support to get there. Right below my name is a little button. It looks like a little YouTube button. It says subscribe. You hit it, you're subbed, and you will be helping us out. We'd love it. In addition, we're giving away a season pass. I'm going to announce last week's season pass winner in tomorrow's video because it's late at night and I don't feel good. So we're going to announce that last season pass winner from last week in tomorrow's video, if that's what you're looking for. And we also have the exclusive number one deck tomorrow. But basically how this works is at some point in every video, I ask you a question. When I ask the question, you answer it. And as long as you're subbed, you're entered to win a season pass. We give away 1 a week and then 5 the first 2 weeks of the season. So if you're interested in that, please do hit that sub button. I don't think you'll regret it. All right, Arana. Spotlight card coming out 9/17. She's a 1/1. Obviously, everything is 6,000 tokens now, so she is 6,000 tokens. Activate. Give the next card you play +2 power, move it to the right. So that's Forge plus Iron Fist, except the other direction from Iron Fist. Or Forge plus that 1 Nico spell. Yeah, that's good. Forge as a 1/1 +2 was too good. They had to nerf it, right? Part of that nerf, though, was the bounce, and Arana will not give you the that space to bounce. So, like, that's not as busted for Forge. But either way, like, +2 power, giving to a card of your choice is just really, really strong. You can play it on turn 1, and then, like, unless it gets Killmongered or Red Guardian, do it at any point in the game. Like, it's just going to be super strong. There's almost no way for this to not be super strong. All right. Arana comes with Sage and Ms. Marvel. Quick variant look for those of you who really... Oh, sorry. This Arana variant, is the one that comes out the day after you buy it. Like, when you buy the new card, often in the shop, a card pops up. I don't know how much I like it. Arana is a card. I like the base art a decent amount, but like the black suit Arana feels a little off, especially because she's blonde for reasons. I might actually do the rare go for the spotlight for Arana. We shall see, but I'm leaning toward yes, because I also want this spotlight Sage. I don't have a Sage variant. I really need a Sage variant. I have a variant for every card that has a variant that's not a spotlight variant. So I'd really like to get a Sage variant, and yeah, I like the all-red Arana better than the black Arana or the base one, so we're pretty close. This Ms. Marvel is pretty decent. This was data mined literally when the card was season passed last November. Yeah, these are really good cards. We'll review them later in this video, so I'm not going to go into super great detail right now. All right, so first it's a 1/3 in stats, which is just fine. You're not sad to have a 1/3. If you've ever played a last turn just for 1/3 Silver Sable, you know that feels fine. Last turn Blade just feels fine sometimes, right? Not bad. But it's also Forge for cards like Brood or Mr. Sinister, and there's a whole bunch of more. Notably, Scarlet Spider being getting the 2 power doubles it, turning it into a 4/14, which seems really good. You definitely want to consider playing this card with cards that can. Again, I'm really sorry I'm gross today. I will get rid of that cold as soon as possible. But that said, you'd really like to use this card in any decks like the Patriot style decks that are just trying to pump extra cards up. Move cards just generally want an extra move card, right? Like a move card that I can drop early. I can just drop this on turn 1. Move is almost always passing turn 1. Now I have a card I can just drop on turn 1. And then whenever I'm ready to play Vulture Dagger, or if I have Craven out and I can get an extra bonus there, like that's awesome. That's an extra 2 power and then a move. Right, but the cards that really get a boost on both ends, that both want the +2 and the move, are Torch and Multiple Man. Having an immediate 5-power Multiple Man turns this into a 3/10 play. That's top of the line stats for 3. Yes, it's spread out, but still, I guess actually technically it's a 3/11 play. And then Torch immediately doubles, right? This +1 Torch move is an 8-power Torch, which is humongous and really, really worth looking into. It is worth remembering, again, that bouncing this one could a second trigger, but there's no way this card's not awesome. This is, like, one of the easiest, definitely going to be good cards, I think, that we've seen in a long time. Like, I was pretty sure about Silver Sable, but it's possible that card was a dud, right? Like, maybe there's just too much Luke for that to be worth it. And, like, Madam Web seemed really good, but, like, she's sort of inconsistent sometimes. This card's just going to be really, really... All right. Next time, we're going to start with Doc D's Buffed Up Surfer. This is a really cool list. Obviously, Arana makes a lot of sense in Surfer you've got Arana and Forge to try and do the brood thing, but also Sebastian Shaw really likes that bonus. You can use Arana to get an immediate trigger from a Nocturne. You can fill up a Hope and pull this off Hope Summers. Like, that's a lot of different ways to use this card, right? And then, like, Forge gets the same benefits, Nova benefits. You're just sort of doubling up. I have almost no doubt that this is going to go into this list, and I think this is a really, really big buff for a deck that has sort of fallen off. Like, Surfer was one of the best decks in the game literally like 3 weeks ago, and like as the meta has updated, it's been having a little more trouble. I think Arana pushes it right back. Also, please do check out our friend Docty_Snap, Docty_Snap, who makes awesome Marvel Snap videos. Res Snapper is another person who makes great new card videos, and he wants to try Arana in this Phoenix Force shell, and sure, I like that idea a lot. What's really nice about this is when you don't get the Phoenix Force, you can always just do a multiple man mover thing, or a dagger or a Human Torch mover thing with Hulkbuster Arana. Still get that pretty big with your Ghost Spider Arana and Nico. It'd be pretty good there. And like Nimrod's not sad for the +2 either. Drewski has started doing Marvel Snap new card videos. He used to post his thoughts and decks on Twitter, but now every week he's doing a new card release video. And he just said One Cost Forge was a mainstay in One Cost Forge was an absolute mainstay in Destroy decks. Well, great, that doesn't work anymore, but Arana still does that job now. You have to be a little careful not playing everything on the left, because Arana, like, you might want to pump Arana and then push the card to the right into like a Carnage or whatever. So be a little careful with it, but like, I think that this is I mean, outside of Atuma, right? The first new Destroy card since X23, is that true? Like, that's wild, but it's true. So I guess I'm pretty sure Arana is going to find a home in our classic Destroy list. All right, the rest of these are those, well, except for one, are those I put together from previously made decks. Jet has a Phoenix Force list chilling in the top 10. It's a Symbiote Spider-Man, multiple. It says you can do Symbiote Spider-Man, multiple man nonsense. Along with it, that this deck is made for Arana. She 1000% goes in it. You can make yourself a 8-power multiple man that you can get multiples of, right? And then you Doctor Strange that, and you get a million more of them. You're gonna get 2 the second you Arana, then you can Ghost Spider and Doctor Strange, and that's just a ton of power all over the board. Obviously, Symbiote Spider-Man you could throw on there too. You could just make giant multiple men. So that seems like it's really strong and going to win a lot of games. You can also easily make 2 big things. You can make yourself a big Human Torch and a decent-sized multiple man and win that way. This should be awesome. Next up, we have the Size Remover. I wanted to show you this list because this is the one I've been playing. I had Hercules in it for most of my games, and I had Alioth. And I didn't like Alioth, and I don't like Hercules. Alioth wins a lot of cubes when he works, right? But you don't usually have priority unless everything's going right. So I basically cut Alioth for Arana, and I watched Sizer play, and Sizer has like a 65% win rate in the top 30 with this deck, and he's now running Cosmo over Hercules, and I didn't like Hercules in the first place, so that felt like a really easy change to make. So Arana goes in. That's my Human Torch buff. This deck already runs multiple man and Hulkbuster. This will be, I think, a tier 1, one of the best decks in the game, literally the second Arana comes out. All right, next up we have an Arana Brood Me. This is from Marvel Snap Zone writer, Canadian Alfredo. I'm on a little hiatus from writing articles for Snap Zone because the start of the school year has been, well, beyond getting sick and the launch of the Pokemon channel tomorrow, the start of the school year has kind of been kicking my ass. So I went and found Canadian Alfredo's list because we got to show some love to our Marvel Snap Zone fam because they still do the best work in the biz. So this is just a really cool Brood Me list, right? 1 cost. Now you have double the chance of going Forge or Arana into Brood Absorber Man. And just winning, sort of. Ooh, very few lists can actually compete with the amount of power that is. The yawn isn't even that I'm tired. The yawn is that I can't breathe and like my body's just trying to suck in air. Yikes. All right, if you'd like to see some games from this on Tuesday, check out the great Prashaun streaming at 12 Eastern for the stream team. Later today, KingofCanada will be streaming some other decks. And then we've got Gregor2424 tomorrow with another stream. Remember, the day after each of these streams, these people put up games on YouTube. So if you want gameplay of these decks, that's where you go to look. All right, Sage. Series 5, 6,000 tokens on reveal, +2 power for each different Power Mon cards here. I think Sage is a must-have card. She's in and out of the meta, but when she's in, she's one of the best cards and utterly irreplaceable. A lot of people didn't get Sage because Sage came out the same week that Leech cost 4 in Killdown reveals, and a lot of people were like, this card's not good in Leech meta, which was true, right? But future-proofing matters, and I was pretty sure Sage was going to be great, so I told my viewers to go get Sage. But Sage ended up great. It's especially if you like bounce, and especially if on Tuesday the Black Swan buff really pushes bounce up, this card is going to be absolutely incredible. I cannot suggest you get Sage more strongly. I have a lot of hope for this card going forward, and it's already in a bunch of bounce and Ravona shells as a top tier card. Some decks that run Sage, this is the Husky Bounce. I played this today. I had played it on my phone, and I did the thing. Long-term viewers, I'm so sorry. New friends, there's the thing I do where I play on my phone in bed just to try and get dailies done. And then I realize I'm winning like a lot, and I have to run out of bed and get on the computer so I can get some stats for the damn cards. So I did that and went 9-1 with this in like top 1000 infinite. So this list is legit, and yeah. You need Sage for it. Like, Sage is ridiculously important. You're not really Sage beasting here, right? It's just you want 2 big power cards to win the game. And Sage, Sage plus Werewolf or Sage plus Hitmonkey does the job. And that's the 2 big power cards. And then you've got a bunch of, like, middling cards, right? I'm using Symbiote Spider-Man more than I thought I would on the hood. Just being like, sure, I'll just take a second freaking hood. Have fun. It's now I've got a 3-power hood and 2 12-power demons. Great, I'll take it. It's, look, it's not as good as Basting it, but I've got too many 5s for Bast to be the right call here, right? Although, if Black Swan's numbers are changed, I could see Symbiote dropping and Bast becoming the play here. That's neither here nor there at this point, though. I just like talking about bounce decks. Sage is a must-have for what is right now my most successful deck. Then we've got Smoke 'em if you got 'em from the Great Space, which is a update on the previous Mockingbird Sasquatch list. Yes, this list runs Men on Web. It's also running frickin' Havoc. It's basically saying I can put out power in like 15 different ways. Havoc, blah, blah, blah. Madam Web lets you fill a lane, Sage early for a ton of power, and then still move your stuff around. And that's just backbreaking and game winning. This list is phenomenal. If you can go Hope Summers into like Man-Thing into Mysterio, you're going to win that game, right? Like, you're going to drop a Mockingbird, Sasquatch, and like 15 other things down the game, and your opponents aren't going to be able to stop you, and just go win cubes. Sage is once more really good and needed here. Alright, Ms. Marvel is a card that was really out of the meta. When I did all my preview stuff for Snap Zone, I was like, yeah, no one needs Ms. Marvel. Well, she's in a couple decks now. So she's a 4/4 ongoing your adjacent location with 2+ cards, have +5 power, with 2+ cards of unique cost, excuse me. So that's the important part. They have to have unique cost. I don't know why it doesn't say that, but it's true. So she's a very powerful card. She had a run as the best card in Marvel Snap when it was only 1 card at each location that was needed. But as is, she's still like a 4/14, which is through the roof power, right? She's just harder to use because junk comes in and out of the meta. All right. So this is my favorite deck with Ms. Marvel now. This deck is trying to double trigger Zabu with Symbiote Spider-Man. You can do that and then Sarah, and then that like second Zabu trigger gives you extra stuff. Ms. Marvel is just the most stats you can have, and she's really hard to stop if you have Ghost out. That's it. That's this whole list. This is like the ultimate control list in Marvel Snap right now. I think it's really great and one of the better decks to play, and Ms. Marvel is an absolute requirement. All right, so we're seeing a ton of this list all over the place. I've seen like 7 people credited. This isn't my favorite version of it. This isn't even the fully updated version of it, right? Because a lot of the versions now are running War Machine in them so that they can get around potential downsides for a lot of their cards. But whatever, it doesn't frickin' matter. Versions of this list are quite good, and they run Ms. Marvel. However, huge caveat, they are perfectly fine not at all running Ms. Marvel, and instead going with Omega Red. So like for this list, I think you have to have Ms. Marvel. You can tell I like it because it's got all my variants in it. Versus for this list, I think that like Ms. Marvel is a nice toy, but I don't think she's like actually like a requirement for. So again, Ms. Marvel is a fine card, but not one to go out of your way for. Nothing that you should go crazy about. All right, so should I open this week? Sage is an absolute 100% must-have card, at least in my opinion. Ms. Marvel is great, but not needed. At least she's finally in some decks again, though. Arana seems like it's going to be great. Here's the rule, though. I think Arana is going to be an absolute must-have card. One of the best cards this month, one of the best cards in Snap, one of the best one-drops in Snap. Say it how you want to. Arana, I think, is going to be great. However, I thought War Machine would be great. I wasn't sure how good arishem would be. I thought Loki would be mid. Not just me, this is everyone. A thing I do is I ask over 50 content creators and top players what they think of cards at the start of the month, and predictions are hard. We're often wrong. So on Thursday, I go, after we've actually played with the cards, I message about 10 to 15 top 20 to 30 players in Marvel Snap, and a few top deck builders who aren't like top rank, but build meta decks that shake up the meta all the time, talking W and Ega and such, and I say, what do you think of Arana? Give me your first impression. And then in that video on Thursday, because there's a video every day, I give you those impressions. Then on Friday, I sort of synthesize those impressions, I look at the stats, and I give you a weekend missions recommendation. Then Monday, on the video, or sometimes Sunday, I guess, because this is a Sunday video, I do a last chance review. You just saw that in the previous in one of the first segments of this video, where I, like, because weekend missions mean everyone's going to play the card, even if it's bad, sometimes we learn something new. And that's like my final review. I think the weekend missions really pushed Madam Web in this case, and it's a perfect example of why you'd get the Friday recommendation, which was probably don't buy Madam Web, and then the Sunday, Monday one, which is even like, okay, I think there is something here, or there is not something here. I think Arana is going to be a yes right away, but I don't know for sure. Wait till Thursday's video, wait till Friday's video, wait till Monday's video. Unless you need Sage. If you need Sage, you can just feel free to open. You're not going to be sad to own Sage. All good? All good. On to questions of the day, and then we are almost out of here. So question of the day. First, Koire asks if streamers help or hurt the game by telling people what to play. They help. So, I don't know if you know this, but like, a lot of the meta without streamers is just like the stuff printed on cards. A lot of people aren't deck builders. You see a lot of like Destroy and Zoo and just like whatever's easy and printed on the card. Ongoing, even when it's not very good. What streamers do is they push us in different directions and give us multiple things to play because it's not interesting to watch the same thing over and over again. So they're constantly innovating and iterating. Would people be able to do that without that? Maybe, maybe not. But like, I've seen what it looks like when people just sort of build on their own, and it's a destroy meta. All right. Luna Chris asked what to use the symbiote Spidey emote for, and I've mostly seen it used as "I won, yay!" Which I don't care. Sure, that's fun. It's cute enough that it doesn't bother me. I don't know. Oh, haha. Excuse me. It feels like The Rock doing his like 1999 cheer. I'm for it. I like it. I'm not against it. It's much less annoying than like Ms. Marvel or Thanos or any of the others. So yay! All right, Greg is fun. Asked what fast food anime I liked that was discontinued. So Wendy's had this big bacon cheddar burger that had like liquid cheddar on it that I thought was like killer. There's always the good old Taco Bell quesalupa or quesarito. I loved those. However, they can't win because they can't win because Jesus Christ, I'm exhausted. As I've got, like, I used to love Taco Bell. Like, young me, absolutely love Taco Bell. It's not Mexican food, it's junk food, but it's glorious junk food. As I've gotten, like, literally in the last, like, year to 2 years, I like Taco Bell, but I don't love it nearly as much, so I don't think that can win. So Big Bacon Cheddar was what I thought I was, and then I remembered that McDonald's fries exist. I mean, I guess Big Bacon Cheddar still has to win, but McDonald's fries are now made in vegetable oil. They used to be made in animal fat, and they were the most delicious thing in the world. Like, they were discontinued when I was like 8 or 9 years old. But I remember like adoring McDonald's fries, and like they would kill you, right? Like they were the most unhealthy thing in the world. Like they were correlated with a bajillion different diseases in really terrible ways. It's better to use vegetable fat than the animal fat for McDonald's fries. But like my childhood memory of those McDonald's fries is that they were the best thing in the world. So like I can't back that up, and given my lack of love for my lack of extreme love for Taco Bell like I used to have, I'm gonna go with Wendy's Big Bacon Cheddar. Oh, thanks. Hey, certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. I'm gonna do this like the podcast and go fast because I don't feel good. Thank you to Abigail Heeson, Manager Burnout Cables, Irregardless, David G. Wingfield, Direwolf, LAB, FaThorNewman. Hey, check out Newman on YouTube. He's got a video of our decks up today. Good Dog Gamer Inc. I'm Frostman, Dan, Everett, Corbin, Brian Bryan, who sponsored Snap Judgments League Season 2. Ryan Burke, Caretakes Lead, the King of Questions, who I have to ask questions to. I will do that first thing in the morning. Koire, Black Dahlia, Parafrost, the Goat Seeker, Denman Falcon, Quid Pro Joe, hey Joe, Doc D, the King of New Marvel's Not Card Content, Fat Nick, Mr. Kerfuffle, our new friend, Ginger Prime, Philip Rakovich, Hey Ratko, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, Rob Silverman, the Bizza, X4SV, and Skippy G, Tommy Knifecast, who won Snap Judgment League Season 1, the King of Bros, the Great Kazoo, Jessica Gamble, Woody, Kev Sehoda, Luna Chris, hey, we saw his name, Quantum Quinn, John Q, Jimmy McHugh, Clam, 8th Sage, Matza Pre Models, Darth Tater, Joe P, no Joe K, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B, J.T. Metaldino, The Fuzzy Alarm, Spectrum Mix, Who, Matt H, DJ, Mikey, Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Ocularis, Craig Sterry, Seamus, Jonesy, Two Ties, The Great Lauren Whatevs, The Pirate King, Tuccrr, The Homie Min, and of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for tomorrow. I've got the #1 deck for you, and no one else does. In addition, right below me, we have a link to Friday's awesome video. If you missed it, make sure you don't.